Hello everyone, welcome to Palm Reading Freyja. This is going to be a tip and tarot, okay? So I did a poll in the past days to see what the members of this group are mostly more interested in learning, okay? It came out to be that you guys, many people in this group are learning tarot, okay? So if you had already selected the deck you feel attracted to, you have revised your deck, begin memorizing the cards, and you know, begin doing yourself a reading or practicing a member or a family member, okay? It's important to please know how you're going to begin doing your first readings, okay? The first thing I will advise everyone to do is to be careful in how you pull the cards, okay? For example, how you shuffle your cards. If you are going to begin reading only upright, it's important to notice how you're gonna handle your deck, how you're gonna part it. If you're gonna do it like this or like that, or whatever you want, it's always important to notice that if you grab half with your other hand and you're going to shuffle, do not reverse it accidentally, okay? Many people shuffles like this, okay? If you grab half and half and you reverse it, then you're gonna have a lot of cards in the reverse position. If you are not ready to read in the reverse position, you might get stuck, okay? Or you might have a problem interpreting what the layout or what the cards are trying to tell you. So, okay, as a rule, please notice, okay? You grab your deck, notice how you grab it, notice how you shuffle, pay attention to not reverse the cards accidentally. Another thing I recommend is to always pull the cards with the same hand. I always do it with the left hand, okay? After, it doesn't matter if you are not a left-handed person. After a while, it will be natural, okay? You will just pull cards in the same way, okay? So we shuffle, we notice, we are paying attention, okay, how we are shuffling. When pulling out the cards, it's important to also get in the habit and always pulling the cards in the same way. For example, if you're gonna begin pulling, then you reverse it, you turn the card here, okay, here in the air. Be careful if you pull like this and you reverse the card, okay? Because if I do this, when I look at it, I flip the card myself, okay? So if you pull like this, always be careful how I like to do it in this way. Shuffle, notice how you pull the cards. Always pull the cards in the same way, in the order you're going to lay them out down on the table, okay? So we shuffle, we notice that we don't reverse cards, we notice how we pull them and how we put them on the table, being careful that we don't flip the cards ourselves when we are pulling the cards, okay? Next thing that we have to make clear before we begin the reading is, I like to use a notebook also for this. If I'm reading for myself, I'm going to write my name, Lorena Johnson, my date of birth, or the date of birth of the person, okay? July 16 of 1989. Whatever it is, write it down, okay? So in this way, you also, you will remember the name of the person and the date of birth, and you will not be, okay, what was their date of birth, or did she told me or not? You have to make sure you have those facts beforehand so that the reading, so that you begin making all these points and connecting them together, okay? Name, date of birth, question. Okay, we're gonna make a question about career. Okay, you write down the question because you don't wanna fall in the questionable. Did I ask about career, or did I ask about money, or did I ask when or how, you know? In this way, everything will be clear from the beginning. We get the deck, We have the name of the person. We have the their my tongue. We have date of birth and clear question, career, okay, or finances, or love, or relationships. It has to be a clear question, okay. When I begin, I like to knock on my deck. This is to reset it. I don't know. It's just something I do. You don't have to do that. You can do it however you want to, okay? I like to knock on my deck, and then I like to close my eyes. This tarot card reading is for Lorena Johnson, born on July 16 of 1989. Please allow me to see what is important to know for Lorena about career, okay? So after that, you begin shuffling. You have clear question, you have date of birth, and you can repeat whatever I allow myself to receive. For Lorena, I'm open to communicate, I don't know, to receive information, or whatever else you like to say. Career, please allow me to see what is important to know for the name of the person, okay? I like to cut the deck in 3 parts, and then I always, once I have shuffled and I feel, okay, it's ready, I always put my hand to the left in the deck. I cut the deck, then I begin pulling cards, okay? Always noticing how I'm going to be pulling cards, okay? So we pull 3 cards. We have the Ace of Swords, the Queen of Rods in the reverse position, and then we have the Ace of Cups reverse, okay? We're gonna stop there, because the other thing that is important for you to know is how many cards you're gonna pull also beforehand, okay? This is going to be a past, present, and future. You write all your things down, okay? Name, date of birth, what is the question, what is the spread you are going to be using, past, present, future. I recommend everyone that is beginning to read to please don't pull a lot of cards, okay? In this way, you don't have a lot to interpret, and you don't get tangled, okay? If you have your plan how you're gonna pull the cards and the positions, it will be easy to interpret the cards and what they are trying to tell you. If you wanna pull more cards, for example, let's say 6 cards, you can do the same thing, but also you can pull 2 cards in the past, one on top of the other, 2 cards in the present, and 2 cards in the future. In this way, you have an energy and you can balance it or notice more about that, okay? Past, present, future. If you want to use a different layout, for example, first card means what is important for me to know, what is important for me to notice, what is important to see that that I'm not realizing, okay? You can make any spread however you want it. The most important thing is to know in what order you're going to pull the cards and the card position. If you mix the cards yourself, then the reading might not make sense and you get confused, okay? So you have your past, present, future, and then you begin reading, okay? You begin interpreting wherever you see on the cards. I recommend everyone that is beginning to read to just say whatever, you see on the picture, or whatever it comes to you after you learn a couple or a few keywords for the card. Just say whatever you see, okay? Make it like a story, okay? So looks like financially you might not be heading in the right direction, or there will be setbacks, okay? The setbacks will be due to conflicts either in the family or with people around you. Also, with the 6 of Cups, you might have to look into what is repeating from the past, or what is what you had already experienced that you are about to experience again, okay? Always making it like a short story, and that's it. You don't have to say a lot. Less is more sometimes, okay? So after you, just one more thing, after you had pulled the cards, you want to write them down. For example, in this spread, we have the 9 of Pentacles. Write it down. In the reverse position, we have the 7 of Wands, also reverse, and we have the 6 of Cups, okay? You just write it down. In this way, if during the day you like, okay, that is making sense to me, you can come back and look at the cards you pull and have a referral on what you have noticed they mean to you, okay? Because it's important to also notice what the cards are going to be meaning for you, okay? Because for many people, this card means something that it might be different from you, and this is one way how you're going to begin getting connected with your deck, okay? Certain cards you're gonna begin noticing, okay, I noticed that when I pulled this card last time, this or that happened, and you remember that, okay? And you remember that, and that is going to be a way that you are going to be building in your knowledge what the card represents to you, even if at times the meaning of the card is slightly different. It's always important to never ignore what the card meaning, okay? The base of the card. Don't ignore the base of the card, always including what it means for you, because that is going to help you. You're gonna begin building and building, okay? So for example, let's pretend that this reading was for somebody else, okay? And this person comes not the next day, but 2 days later, asking you, you know what? Can you tell me what you said about this card? What did it represent? Or what did you say to me in the end? If you don't have the cards wrote on a piece of paper, you didn't write it down, you didn't put notes, you are not going to be able to answer the person that is asking you, what does this mean? Why? Because excuse me. Why? Because you don't have it, okay? And many of us do many readings, and it's impossible to remember all the little details that we talk about on a reading. So if you have it, write it down, and if you have something also to go back to, it will be always helpful to you, okay? It's important to put the day. For example, today is the 7/22 of 2019, okay? In this way, you can refer to when you did the reading, name of the person, you already have the date of birth, what they ask, and what layout did you use, past, present, future, what cards did you pull out on the reading, and any special note, okay? A special note can be, I told her in a matter of 6 weeks, things will be changing, or she will have, I don't know, it could be anything. She can receive good news or a positive message, okay? In this way, you have that also to go back and refer, and you will not be out of ways to answer a question when someone that you have done a reading for comes back later on. So, okay, that is all I have for now. I hope these tips help you to notice, to pay attention how you pull the cards, to get things on paper or register on your computer. If you don't want to use, you know, a notebook, you can do this on an iPad and your notes. Always to have certain, you know, you can put it by days, you can put it by, I don't know, by months, or whatever, any idea that you might you might have, okay? Everything, anything will work as long as you keep it organized, and as long as you know where to go to it to find the information. Because if you don't organize your iPad, let's say by days, you're gonna be going through all these notes, not knowing where they are, okay? So I hope this helps you. Thank you once and again, everyone, for allowing me to bring you tips and just throw ideas around. Okay, if there is something that you might feel interested about learning, or me, or maybe even someone else making a video about, please leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for allowing me. I wish you all a wonderful day. Bye.